Hey guys, so I went to the GOT7 Turbulence concert a couple of days ago, and I just wanted to tell you guys my experience of like how it was and how the high touch went, and maybe some tips of what to do and what not to do when you're meeting the boys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. So this was my first GOT7 concert, not my first K-pop concert, so I had something to like compare it with, but you know what, it was still overall a great experience. So we live about 3 hours away from Houston, and we had to drive there, and originally we planned to be there about 2, but we ended up getting there about 4, 2 hours later. Thanks mom and dad. Sorry, I mean they were grateful enough to drive us there. But yeah, we ended up getting there 2 hours late, and we went to initially go pick up our wristbands first because they said to go pick it up from 12 to 5 p.m. And we thought it was just gonna be like quick pick up and then explore and wait around, but no, the line took good 1.5 to 2 hours just to pick up our wristbands. So that was a little bit of a blow to our whole experience. But you know what, along the line we met not a whole bunch, but we met like some nice, awesome agashis, you know, and throughout the whole event, there were GOT7s and agashis giving out. Okay, just get in. Okay. There were a whole bunch of agashis and GOT7s giving out free banners and like food and some. Okay, there was this one leader of a club that was giving out like face masks that are like worth $10 to people, and I remember she had one left and she gave it to someone that requested it. Like she gave her own to someone, and I was like, yo, like I feel so touched right now, girl. Like literally, I got agashis and GOT7s are one of the most like helpful and like warm people I've ever met. I don't know, they're just so supportive of each other, and like I love it. Like, and to be in a fandom is awesome. Like I finally got to feel like a fandom, like it's like a family basically, and I'm just so proud. Thank you. If any of you guys are watching this, then like, you know, hit me up. You can make lifelong friends through this, guys. Okay, anyway, aside from that, where was I? Yeah, so the line for the wristband looked a little something like this. So right now we're at the concert site. We're P2.
Oh my god!
And we were waiting in line to pick up our wristbands for like, I want to say maybe 1.5 hours, just to pick up our wristbands. But it's now about 5:30, and we're about to go inside and pick up our wristbands, and then probably get into the auditorium. So yeah. Yeah, and that's when we were a little pretty much close to the front of the wristband line. So after we got our wristbands, it was probably around 6 o'clock. So we had an hour of just like waiting around. So I just charged my phone during that. The line for the entry was wrapped around the building, man. And you know, it was so messed up because there was no distinction between P2 and general admission line. So like the P2 people were with the general admission line. It was so crazy. There were P2 people in the back. So a lot of P2 members and like members in general, ticket holders, they got in after the concert started. So they got in like after GOT7 was performing. And you know what, like, you know, if that was me, I would be so pissed off because people like flew here, they spent money to see GOT7, and like you're missing part of the show that you waited on for a good 1.5 months. Like, and again, it was the Revention Center, and the people, like, it just wasn't organized that great. So we finally got into the venue around 7:10 to 7:15, and it was supposed to start at 7. It got pushed back an hour later till 8. So in the concert there was P1 and P2, and we were P2, but we were on the bar of P2, like the very first bar. So it was like basically like we were in P1. The one thing I noticed about P1 was that they could fit in a whole bunch of more people into actual P1. There was a good like 100 to 150 people they could have easily put in P1 or something, but it was kind of worked out for me because I got a better view. I got a better view from P2 because of it, because of that gap in between. Anyways, yeah, I'll insert some footage of where we were.
I was like, I just smell GOT7.
Julia. Okay, guys. So we're here. We're on the P2 metal bar, and right now we're waiting for GOT7 to.
They're gonna be like
stage.
right there.
Yeah. So you know, it took a lot of waiting outside.
3 hours. I'm wearing
We
shorts.
got these, and yeah,
For real. I love
we're
watching
ready, I guess. So yeah. Bye. to like Agashi's behind us and stuff, sharing our experiences, just like waiting on the boys, and then like out of nowhere, Hard Carry starts playing, and then you know that they're gonna pop up any minute, and then after the song, the lights go down, everyone starts screaming, and then the little video plays, and then they come out, and it's like, I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm still reliving it. Like, I've had to make this 3 times because like I've been shook every time. Okay. So they came in and they started performing Prove It, and that like made my life. Yeah, the concert was a blast. I'll insert some footage right here. During the whole entire concert, I made eye contact with 3 of the members. The first one was YUGYEOM, second Jinyoung, and third Youngjae. I made eye contact with YUGYEOM during Prove It when he was singing, and he would just kind of like look down. He was like, and I was like, and he was like, we just had that like moment. It was like 2 or 3 seconds, but like it was enough to make me die peacefully. Anyways, I have issues, if you didn't know. Okay. And then it was, who else was it? It was Jinyoung the second time. And it's probably because I was screaming his name super loudly. Like, I wouldn't take no for an answer. I was like, you better make eye contact with me or you're gonna feel, never mind. So yeah, I made eye contact with Jinyoung during, I don't know which song it was, and I wish I took a video, but it was pretty good. Like, I think we made eye contact, and then he like looked away, and then he came back. Because I was screaming his name like so loud. Okay. Then it was Youngjae, and I wasn't even trying for Youngjae. I think he was just scanning the crowd, and then our eyes locked. And my sister said that he made eye contact with her too. So I was like, maybe it's a family thing. The concert ended pretty shortly. Like it felt like a pretty short fan meet. It was only about an hour and 15 minutes. They probably had to cut it short due to the time constraints. After the concert, the general admission people had to go back, and the P1 and P2 people got their benefits. So the P1 people, they got their photo op, and it went by really fast. There were a couple of the girls that tried to assign their seats so they could sit with their biases, but you know, it doesn't always work out that way. So there were instances where there would be like 2 more spaces left for the picture, but the girls that planned it out, they were like, no, like we need to sit next to our bias. And then security would get really frustrated and start yelling at the fans, and it was just kind of hard to watch because like they were yelling, you know, at the fans, and like, yeah, it was just hard to watch. And so finally P1 was done, and it was time for the P2 hat touch. And you know, I had prepared what I wanted to say, but you know, when you're like there, it just doesn't come out. Maybe it's because like you're just so starstruck and it doesn't work out the way you planned it to. So we were backstage, and I was getting ready. They were like, handbags on your left, cell phones put away, and I was so tempted to like just stick my phone and like take a picture, because like, you know, they couldn't stop me. Like they couldn't be like, hey, get that out of your boob, because like, I mean, they probably could have, but like, you know, I would probably been like, oh, I'm so sorry, this. So it was Jinyoung first, and he was just kind of like leaning over, like in a stoop position. I guess that's because he was tired. And my cousin went before me, and her story is funnier than mine, and she's probably gonna share it on her channel. Okay, so Jinyoung was bent over, and then I just saw him. I just made eye contact with him. Like I bent over to get his hand, and I didn't even say anything. Like, I didn't even say hi. I don't even think I smiled at him. He just had his hand out, and then I didn't realize that it was a high touch. So I just grabbed it like a normal handshake, and I just held on to it, and then he just kind of looked at my hand, and then he like took his hand away, and he like looked at me, and he was probably like, aren't you gonna say anything or smile at least? But I didn't, and I regret that. And so I left him without a goodbye. I left him, and then it was Young Jae afterwards. And so Young Jae was just like, hi to everyone. And I saw his face, and you know, he was making a smile, but I guess he was tired, so his smile was like this. Hi. It didn't reach his eyes. It was just like, hi. It was so funny. So I don't even think I smiled or said hi to him either. I was just like, hi. And I remember a moment when he was like looking up, and I saw his face, and I noticed how like thick his foundation was. Like, it's probably because of the stage makeup, you know, they have to make it thick. But I noticed that it was like his skin wasn't perfect, and it made me happy. It made me happy for a weird reason, because I was like, hey, like, they're just people too. They have skin conditions, they break out. They're just like you and me. So next was JB, and this is probably like the worst story. I don't know, it's probably like the worst experience for me. I was like, hi. I didn't say hi, I don't think so. Those three, I didn't smile or say hi. I was just so like starstruck. So I grabbed JB's hand, like, and his handshake wasn't firm, so I had to like kind of do most of the leading. And a girl up front, she was having sort of like a mishap with Jackson, so there was a little bit of stall time where I could have interacted with JB. So JB had already shook my hand, and he was looking to the next person, and I panicked, and I was like, I need to say something, like anything. So I decided to say something in Korean, 멋있어, which means cool in Korean. Like, in my head, I was thinking, hey, he probably doesn't understand English, so I'll just say something in Korean. So I just blurt out, 멋있어! Like I'm a crazy person. Like, I probably sounded like the biggest Korea boo in the world. And so he just kind of goes, like, it's like, and then he like turns away quickly. I'm like, why did you do that? Like, you know English, he knows English. This is America, why, Serena? So after JB was Jackson, and this is where it starts getting good. Jackson was dancing to Juju on that beat, but I couldn't hear anything. My mind was just focused on the members. So he was dancing to Juju on that beat. He was like, Juju on that beat. So he was dancing to Juju on that beat, and right when I turned to him, he was looking directly into my eyes, like, and I was just so startled. I kind of like looked at him and smiled. I was smiling at first, and I smiled for like 3 seconds, and I didn't know what he was doing because I couldn't hear the music, and so I was like, what is he doing? So I smiled, I was like, and then I turned into a frown. I was like, and then he started frowning, and then I moved on. It was horrible. Okay, so next was Bam Bam, and Bam Bam was just like a quick like, hi, nice to meet you, thank you. It was really quick, it was probably short. It was one of the ones where I don't really remember much about it. And then next, and the best one in my belief, was YUGYEOM. So YUGYEOM, he is taller in person than expected. He's very tall, and also Jackson is tanner in person, and JB's eyes are very like distinct, like they're very unique. I don't know how to explain it. And JB is very attractive in person. Oh my god, okay, YUGYEOM is so cute, like I can't even express it. And my experience with him was probably the best out of all the members. As you probably know, he's really tall, and so he was looking down on me because I'm like 5'2". And he gives me like the cutest, like flirtiest expression in the world. I only remembered it after like 10 minutes. After 10 minutes I had left the high touch area, but I remember, and this is what he did. So his hair was covering his bangs in his eyes, so he had a little bit of a squint to his already Korean eyes. It was really cute. And he was looking at me like, Like, you know, he gave me the flirtiest look ever. And I remember it just made my high touch experience like better, because after Jinyoung, Youngjae, and JB, I was kind of feeling down, and so after YUGYEOM, I was like, okay, I'm not ugly, to YUGYEOM at least. So after YUGYEOM, it was Mark, and I honestly don't even remember Mark. I don't even know if I high touched him because there's no recollection of him in my memory. All I remember was the staff saying, come on, get out, get out, get out. So I'm not even sure if I high touched Mark, which is sad because he's one of my favorite members. I really hope I did, and I really hope that memory comes back to me later on. So after it was over, me, my sister, and my cousin, we were like fangirling over it for a good like rest of the night. And then the next morning we're still kind of fangirling over it. I'll insert some footage of what the center looked like after everything had winded down and while we were waiting for a ride. A few tips that I'd like to share, but if you ever do happen to go high touch GOT7, is to be prepared with what you have to say beforehand, because while you're there, your mind is a mess. Kind of consolidate everything before you actually go and do the deed. That sounds okay, wrong. The next thing I would have improved on personally is smiling. Okay, when you go there, remember to smile like brightly and just look like you're a fan, because I probably scared off Junior and JB because I probably didn't smile at all. Just remember that they're people too. They're not aliens or they're not vampires, so you know, they go through the same emotions as us. You don't know what they're actually thinking, so it's always nice to have a friendly demeanor. The next tip I want to say is I know this sounds bad, but don't pay attention to the security. I wish I had took a little bit more time with some of the members, so I could have captured the memory in my head and had time to process it. So if a security member is rushing you, stand your ground, and you probably won't even notice it, like hear the security yelling in your ear because, you know, it's already happening before you. But if you feel them pushing you, kind of just resist. I know that sounds like you're breaking the law, but you're not hurting them. Like, you just want to get your money's worth. Gotta do what you gotta do. All in all, I had a great experience, and I really hope to do it again in the future and meet them again. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if I met any of you guys at the concert, please comment below and maybe I'll remember you. Okay, bye guys.